Today, you are going to test your grammar skills. So I have a quiz for you, and this quiz ranges from the B1 level to C2. So really, it is for intermediate to advanced learners, and I want to see how much you know. And if you are someone who enjoys improving your grammar skills, please subscribe, turn on notifications. That way I can become your teacher. My name is Wes. The channel is Interactive English. It's all about trying to help you reach your fluency goals. So this is a quiz lesson, which means I would like you to participate. You can write your answers on a separate sheet of paper or even use the comments section. I just love hearing from you. I like seeing people participate in these lessons because, after all, this is Interactive English. So let's begin with parts of speech. And I want you to tell me, what is the predicate noun when you have this sentence right here? Mark became an actor. So there are 4 words in the sentence. One of these words is a predicate noun, and that word is the word actor. So a predicate noun is a noun or a noun phrase that follows a linking verb to provide additional information about the subject of the sentence. In this case, the subject of the sentence is Mark. Our linking verb became, and that means the predicate noun is actor. And in case you're wondering, we're talking about Mark Hamill, that is who is pictured right there from the movie Star Wars. The next question is, where are the chairs? There are several in the closet. I want you to focus on the word several and tell me if that is an indefinite pronoun or an indefinite adjective. You only have 2 choices, and I hope that you said the word several is an indefinite pronoun. So let's talk about the difference between the two. Indefinite pronouns stand alone and do not modify a noun or pronoun. Here's an example for you. He doesn't talk to anyone. In that case, anyone is an indefinite pronoun. Now, indefinite adjectives are used to describe a noun in a non-specific sense. Check out that example sentence. He doesn't know many people. So in this case, many describes people in a non-specific sense because it doesn't tell us exactly how many people he knows. We just know that he doesn't know many people. Here's the next question. It's just like Wes to show up a half hour late. So in this sentence right here, what part of speech is the word like? This can be a little tricky because the word like, it can have many different parts of speech. But in this sentence, we're talking about like as a preposition. It means that it is typical or characteristic of. And you may hear it used in a sentence like this. It's just like someone to, and then you're talking about their characteristic. It's just like Wes to show up a half hour late. But the word like, it can be tricky because it may be a verb, a noun, a conjunction, an adverb, and of course in this sentence right here, it is a preposition. Here is the next question. After a few minutes, we found the key in the drawer. So looking at this sentence, I want you to identify the object of the preposition. This is a little bit of a trick question because there are actually 2 objects of the preposition. We're talking about the words minutes and drawer. So after a few minutes, this is a prepositional phrase. Minutes is the object of the preposition. We found the key where in the drawer. That is another prepositional phrase. So the word drawer is also the object of the preposition. So these are nouns that work with a preposition to form a prepositional phrase. Now, let's test your knowledge when it comes to verb tenses. I'm going to give you a sentence, and I just want you to complete the sentence using the verb that I give you with the correct tense. The movie, tomorrow at 8 p.m. How would you complete this sentence and use the verb start? So, technically speaking, you could complete this sentence in one of 2 ways. We're talking about tomorrow, so I wouldn't say it's incorrect to use the future tense. However, in this case, because we're talking about scheduled time, it's more common to use the present simple. The movie starts tomorrow at 8 p.m. We use the present simple when we refer to future events that are planned and they're not likely to change. So a movie has a set time. In this case, it's tomorrow at 8 p.m. We'll use the present simple. The movie starts tomorrow at 8 p.m. How about this one? I for the bus for the last 20 minutes. I want you to use the verb wait. So think about the context. Think about the situation. You are at this bus stop right here, and you're telling this to someone else. And in this case, it would be appropriate to use the present perfect continuous. I have been waiting for the bus for the last 20 minutes. We're talking about something that started in the past, has continued to the present right now, and will likely continue into the future. I've been waiting for the bus for the last 20 minutes. Here is another one. Yesterday, nobody noticed when I out of the room. So the verb that I want you to use is slink. So slink, it's not the most common verb in the world. I will talk about what it means, but we're talking about something that happened yesterday. It is finished, therefore you would use the past simple. And to slink, it means to walk away somewhere quietly so that you're not noticed. And the past of slink is slunk. Yesterday, nobody noticed when I slunk out of the room. It's finished, it happened, and I slunk out of the room. Here's another one. Your phone rang while you were outside. Call them back. I'm giving you a choice here. Are you going to complete this question with are you going to or will you? Which one do you think is more appropriate? Your phone rang while you were outside. Call them back. So in some situations, you may use be going to or will to talk about the future, but sometimes there are some differences, like in this case. So we're talking about prior plans, something you intend to do. Therefore, it's more common to use be going to. Your phone rang while you were outside. Are you going to call them back? Now, to give you another example of a difference between will and be going to, if you are making an immediate decision, in that case, it's more appropriate to use will. Now, to give you another example of a difference between will and be going to would be immediate decisions. In that case, it's more appropriate to use will. Let's stick with the phone. My phone is ringing. I'm going to say I'll answer it. It's an immediate, sudden decision. In that case, I'll use will. I will answer it. I'll answer it. So let's move on to plural nouns. I'm going to give you a noun. I just want you to tell me the plural form. I'll give you a moment to think about it, and then I'll tell you the answer. So the singular is roof. What is the plural form of this noun? I hope that you gave me one of two answers. You could say roofs or roofs. Either one of those is acceptable when talking about the plural of roof. Here's the next one. Fungus. That is a singular noun. What is the plural of fungus? The answer is fungi. That is the plural form of fungus. Here's another one. Emphasis. That is the singular noun. What is the plural of emphasis? If we're talking about the plural form of this noun, it is emphases. Emphasis, emphases. Then we have the singular elf. There's one elf, but there are many, what? The answer is elves. There are many elves. Let's move on to some figures of speech. And this can be a little tricky, but here is your first one. He is as tall as a tree. It's a simple sentence. I think you understand it, but I want you to tell me, well, what is this sentence an example of? A simile, B, irony, C, alliteration, or D, hyperbole. A simile. A simile is the comparison of two things using the words like or as. He is as tall as a tree. Here's the next one, boom. This just, that word alone, that is an example of what? A, pleonasm, B, synecdoche, C, onomatopoeia, or D, personification? I don't want to go through each one because I'm going to bring some of these back up in just a little bit. But if I say a word like, oh, boom, crack, bang, splash, those are examples of onomatopoeia. This is when you use words that are used to represent sounds, and they're similar to noises. Here's the next question. The wind howled all night. This sentence is an example of A, irony, B, a pun, C, personification, or D, synecdoche. Truthfully, the wind doesn't really howl. That is something that a wolf might do, but I may use the verb howl just to make my writing a little more engaging. And in that case, this sentence is an example of personification. You are giving human characteristics to non-human things. In this case, the wind, and saying that it howled all night. Now, I would like you to write an example of alliteration. Any example of alliteration. I think that this is something that you know, you're probably familiar with it. So let me show you a couple of examples. Sheep should sleep in the shed. You have that SH sound. Or Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. This is a tongue twister. Tongue twisters often use alliteration, which is the repetition of the first letter or sound within a group of words. All right, it's time for a quick spell check. I'm just going to give you a word, and I want you to identify the correct spelling. I'm giving you the meaning as well. So if you are feeling like you might vomit, you could say that you are nauseous. How do you correctly spell the word nauseous? The correct answer is B, nauseous. It's a useful adjective if you have this feeling and you want to say that, oh, right now I feel a little nauseous. How about this word right here? This is a pretty common word. We're talking about a day of the week, Wednesday. But it's a word that I often find misspelled. Now, I hope that you chose C, Wednesday. Again, the spelling and the pronunciation don't really match, but definitely a word you should know how to spell. How about this word, entrepreneur? This is someone who starts a business. I believe that this word is borrowed from French, entrepreneur. And the correct spelling for entrepreneur is B. So keep in mind that the stress is on that final syllable when you're pronouncing this word, entrepreneur, entrepreneur. And then we have the word narcissistic. If you really have a lot of admiration for yourself, then you could say that you are narcissistic. And if you want to spell this word correctly, you are going to spell it just like C, narcissistic. Let's do some sentence transformations. Actually, we're going to do some keyword sentence transformations. And what does that mean? It means I'm going to give you a statement, and I want you to use the keyword to complete this other statement so that it has the same meaning. And I think this is really useful because we're checking your grammar and your vocabulary. So it's kind of quizzing you on two different things. So the first one is a question. Would you like to watch a movie? I want you to complete that second question. Do you movie? And I want you to use the word feel. So to complete that question so that it has the same meaning as would you like to watch a movie, you could say, do you feel like watching a movie? We're going to use feel like to suggest like, oh, is this something you want to do? But we're going to follow that with the gerund watching. Do you feel like doing something? Here's the next one. I regret not speaking to you sooner. I wish sooner, and I want you to use the word had. How would you change that sentence so that it has the same meaning as I regret not speaking to you sooner? Well, you could use the word had to say, I wish I had spoken to you sooner. We're talking about the past perfect. had spoken. I wish I had spoken to you sooner. It's very similar to, well, I regret not speaking to you sooner. How about this one right here? They are going to learn the truth one day. I want you to use the word matter and complete the following sentence. It's only they learn the truth. What phrase would you use with matter when talking about, well, the truth is going to come out? It's only a matter of time before they learn the truth. Really has a similar meaning to they're going to learn the truth one day. It's only a matter of time before they learn the truth. How about my boss is determined not to give me a pay raise? Use the word intent when completing this sentence. My boss, a pay raise. And we could say, my boss is intent on not giving me a pay raise. So the one thing I want you to keep in mind when you're using intent, you're often going to follow that with the preposition on. You are intent on doing something. In this case, my boss is intent on not giving me a pay raise. So of course, I would like to know how you did on the quiz. Let me know down in the comments. I always love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this grammar quiz and testing your skills, let me know by hitting that like button. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for participating, and I will see you next time. So long.